Sometimes a game's title is enough to pique my interest, and that's exactly what just happened with Lithium Inmate 39. And once I saw the creepy and horror atmosphere, I had to give it a shot. But does it end up quenching that horror thirst? Or is this one game that's going to have you checking yourself into the local insane asylum? Lithium Inmate 39 is a mix of horror, puzzle, and platformer, with a very horrific graphical styling with some great creature designs, and heck, even the main character is creepy enough, with a look of a mix between Abe from Oddworld and Dobby from Harry Potter. You play as Prisoner 39, awaking in an insane asylum and trying to escape, and every nook and cranny, wall, passage, everything is trying to stop you from doing so. There's horrific monsters that will just rip your head off at a moment's notice, blades coming out of the walls and spikes out of the ground. Instant death is everywhere, so if you're easily frustrated by the likes of instant death, you're not going to have a very good time with this game. The game is a nice mix of puzzle and platforming, with a lot of times you having to go in blindly, die a few times, before then you figure out, oh, I can duck under this blade, or I can force this monster to come at me and run directly into the line of fire. The game does a good job with these puzzle elements. It's just unfortunate that the game can get so frustrating quickly, especially when it comes to what feels like many cheap deaths along the way. The main reason for that is just because of the way the camera is set up in the game. It's very reminiscent of 5th gen survival horror games with stagnant placement. It changes all the time. Controls end up getting locked in one position, or you end up switching instantly because of a camera change and end up walking right into the line of fire of some contraption that's trying to kill you. So many dozens of times was I killed by something that was actually just off screen because of the way that the camera was positioned. But I feel like patience will pay off. The longer that I ended up playing the game, the more adjusted I got to those flaws and actually started to really enjoy the game the farther I got into it. It's mostly just because I'm a big horror fan, and there is some great atmosphere throughout the course of it with some really brutal gore. I mean, your character gets eviscerated, heads cut off, ripped off, electrocuted, caught on fire, drowning, and all kinds of crazy stuff. Not only to you, but a lot of times to the monsters that are trying to take you down and kill you as well. When you can line them up into a trap and then have them run directly at you, thinking they have you for the kill, and then they just completely get destroyed, is a very satisfying moment. While your character is mostly defenseless, you are armed with a lantern to see a little bit better, though you do have to manage the oil in it. You can run, jump, and duck through many of the game's hazards, but sometimes you get to control a giant beast that's able to kill some of the creatures in the game, as well as destroy nearby barriers to help you get through as well. Lithium Patient 39 is a game that I feel like definitely gets better the longer you end up playing it. Once you kind of get accustomed to the way it plays, I feel like you can easily get sucked into not only the atmosphere, but trying to figure out what exactly is going on. It's a really weird and strange game. If you're someone who likes that kind of thing like I do, you'll definitely be drawn in for sure. From the technical side of things, other than the issues I've already mentioned, everything did run smoothly for the most part. There was definitely some graphical glitches here and there. The lantern would kind of act goofy when it would end up colliding with other objects, and there was a few little mishaps here and there, but for the most part, it played pretty solid and there was no crashing. Lithium Inmate 39 is available for $9.99 on the PlayStation 4. It unfortunately does not feature a full trophy list or a platinum trophy. This is the kind of game that's going to frustrate a lot of gamers, but I think those who stick it out, get used to it, and can be brought into the atmosphere, you're definitely going to enjoy what the game has to offer. For me, I'm going to be giving the game, though, a 6 out of 10. I think if the camera angles were a bit more refined, it definitely would have gotten a higher score from me. But with that, guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.